Hello, my name's Omar Andrade. I am a graduating graphic design major from Harper College, and thank you so much for going over my portfolio today. So the first project that we have here is the infographics. These are something that I made in Graphic Design 1. What I used to make these were Illustrator and Photoshop, and it was just a simple infograph using information from a certain game, from comparing the usage of characters from Street Fighter 2 into Street Fighter 5, and I used Illustrator to make the silhouettes that you see on the right. The next one is a editorial that we had to make also for Graphic Design 1. It was something we used InDesign for, and it was just making an informative editorial of our choosing. This one right here is a personal work project that I did outside of school. It was for a charity organization known as Combogon. It is a charity to help veterans who are out of work, basically. And it's a gaming tournament that all funds go towards. And the posters I made here were both made using Photoshop, and they were made for the guests that were coming to help represent the convention. These are more personal work that I've done, as well as some logos I made for graphic design too, that were created in Illustrator and Photoshop as well. The two logos on the left are more work from ComboCon. They're logos that were either used as of today, still of today, for the convention itself or for t-shirts. And the ones on the right were either personal works. The one on the upper right is a personal one of mine, and the one on the bottom right is also one that we made for graphic design too. This one right here is a calendar one that we made for page layout. It was what I used was Illustrator as well as Photoshop. What I did was it's pretty simple. I the image on the left was the image I made for in Photoshop because I couldn't find any appropriate images to use for the cover, so I decided to make one myself. And the images on the right are just how it turned out overall in the design itself. These two are posters that I made both for either for the right one was for digital imaging too, and the one on the left was for desktop publishing. They were both made in InDesign and Photoshop, and they were used just for it's just general purpose stuff, taking multiple images, stock images, and trying to make something of them. This one here is the business cards and logos that we also made for that I made for this semester in graphic design 2 as well as portfolio. They're the same logos that I made, some different ones, as well as how they were all put together in InDesign, as well as how the logos were made in Photoshop. And this here's my resume that has all my work and experience and the skills that I have. Thank you so much for going over my portfolio today. I really appreciate it.
Awesome job, Omar. Yeah, that was fantastic. You've got a fantastic voice for this kind of thing. Nice and smooth. Nothing was rushed there. It felt very comfortable. So excellent work.
I try not to like not to let it not drone out, but I was when I'm doing that right now where it's like I was trying not to do that.
Yeah, that's like the hardest thing to do, I think, as a speaker. That's the one thing that drives me nuts when I go back and hear myself is just how many times that I say it gets me annoyed pretty quick. But yeah, Christy, I agree. Like Omar had a very like sort of confident presence. Like you could tell like when you guys when you just let like when you just talk about your work again being the thing that you made it. It comes off that way. It just comes off as confident and unscripted and everything. So yeah, Omar, that was fantastic, man. Here's what I'm going to do, guys, so that I don't mess up, because last week I forgot to record one and we had to do it a second time. I am going to